Hello, welcome to the first episode of FedEx Garage. Since this is the first episode, we're gonna take things slow and ease on to everything with an engine swap. You know, small job.
Not really.
Yeah. Here with my mother. She's helped me out a lot with this car. And actually she's gonna be here for probably the biggest job. So, we've got a tired, original 2.8 liter V6 that has been in the car since day one. It was full of water when I got it, and despite our best efforts to get it running, we're going to swap it. I've got a 3.1 liter out of a 92 Firebird that's going to be going in. So, let's get to it. First things first, we got to unbolt the transmission crossmember bolts. That way the trans can wiggle around a bit while we're pulling the engine. We also got to take the drive shaft out too. Hopefully we won't have to pull both the engine and transmission out at the same time, but if it does come to that, we'll do it. That might make things easier, we don't know.
No.
It's only my first engine swap.
You'll be alright.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it done.
Let's see how this goes. Alright, so we've gotten the transmission crossmember unbolted from the frame. So the engine is able to move around without getting caught up on it. And hoist has been hooked up to it. We've got the leveler on it. And you can kind of see it's already separated from the bell housing there. So now we just got to pull it forward a little bit. And should just be able to lift the engine right out. Looking forward to it, aren't we?
That's right.
So why don't you grab the back belt there? Alright, yeah, it's off. Should be able to just lift it right on out now. It's liberated.
Wow.
There it is.
Is that supposed to happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of still in the there. I
Mm-hmm.
guess I'm not.
Yeah.
Look at that. Makes it leveler is really doing its job, huh?
It's rocky.
Let's see. Hope this thing goes up high enough.
I hope those bolts stay on.
Alright.
That's my concern.
It is out. Let's see, looks like the power steering lines are still hooked up, but that's an easy fix. Look at that. Liberated. The old power plant.
Not quite.
Yeah, well, not quite, but close enough, right? It's only made of cast iron. It didn't draw, it's still crappy concrete. And there she is. Managed to leave the transmission in. Don't know how we're going to get everything hooked back up, but we'll figure it out. Wow. We'll clean all the engine bay up. We just need to get the flywheel off of this. Let's get it over onto the new motor, which is sitting right there in the corner. And then basically the same process, but backwards. So the flywheel is off. That is actually the lightest flywheel I've ever seen. I mean, Jesus. Didn't even need the liquid wrench there. Not even a breaker bar. So, it's pretty nice. Now we're going to have to do a little bit of an engine dance and move that one out of the way. Get the old motor over in that spot. And then get the new motor on the hoist. But making progress. She's about to have a new engine in maybe an hour, completely hooked up. I think we're being a little too confident with that estimate though. But alright, let's get to it. Okay, so we skipped ahead a little bit. The flywheel has been swapped over and torqued down. And by torque down, I mean I just tightened it as tight as I could, because I don't have a torque wrench. And now we've gotten the motor halfway seated. We just need to get the motor mounts lined up. And that'll be real fun.
Yeah. What do we do?
Good question. Alright, so we've gotten the flywheel swapped over. And we've gotten the engine in the engine bay, but what we're having issues with is the engine is tilted too far forward, and we can't really do much with the leveler. We just took the radiator out to make a little bit more room, but biggest issue, can't really get a good view on it from here, but the flywheel is getting in the way of the torque converter. So we're trying to level everything back out so I can get it seated on the motor mounts. But not giving up just yet. That is it, fellers. She is mounted, lined up on the motor mounts. It's actually almost lined up on the transmission too. Let's see, we'll focus there. Just need to clear it out a little bit. Took a little bit of work, actually had to move the leveler a little bit. But yeah. Turgin officially has a 3.1 liter. And there's the old motor. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm sure
Anybody want it?
Yeah, does anybody want it?
I'll get it.
I'm sure it's good for a lawn ornament. You look pretty happy.
Yep, fine.
I mean, this is a pretty big moment. And there you have it. 2.8 to 3.1 swap. She's in there. Motor mount bolts are in. They just need to be torqued down. We've got the old engine sitting in its corner until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. Still a whole bunch to mark off the lists over there, but we're just in here cleaning up. We'll have to bolt the transmission up tomorrow because we can't move it. I got a jack holding it up right now. So once that's bolted up, we can move the car back over into its spot. Glad how this jack did. I didn't really trust it completely, but it worked. And we got it in. Look at that. That is the look of victory. That was a big job, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Very big.
that was an all-day job. When did we start? What time?
I don't even know.
It was like a little bit after noon, wasn't it?
Probably about 1.
Yeah, and it's dark out now, so that was a long day.
Yeah, it was.
We're not done yet. We're calling it a night. I'll come back out here and finish bolting everything up. Still a little bit left to do. Still got to bolt up the bell housing and the torque converter, and I got to put the drive shaft back in, and a little bit of other stuff. But that is a huge chunk of that list there that has been marked off. If all goes well,
I can hook up the wiring. I need to hotwire the ignition, the fuel pump, and the starter to switches, because I don't know if the wiring for this engine is going to work, because they don't have relays on them. But I'll wire those up, and maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky enough, we'll hear this engine run. That's a big maybe. But there's the old motor. It's old, rusty, and worn out. But it was quite an experience. It was my first ever engine swap, and it went a lot better than I thought it would. And glad that my mother was willing to help me out with it. It was a big job, and it was something that she'd never done before, so it's quite an experience. And of course, I want to thank my buddies Braden and Jacob, who actually helped me haul this engine home in the back of Jacob's minivan. So none of this would have been possible if it weren't for them helping me out. But yeah, it was a long day. But damn, that is a beautiful sight. Now, all that's left is to get those things fixed, put together, and of course the interior needs some assembly. And we should be good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.